Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I almost want to delay this a little bit, to be honest with you, um, because Mark Zuckerberg is getting ready to speak about why he's pulling back development or access to developers and stuff like that. This thing is a shit show, and it's going to implode. We nailed it, folks. I'm telling you, it's comical. Um, I'm gonna try and keep one eye on my other screen here and see if I'm up Skype with a couple of my buddies who are booger eaters and watching this. But it's now the Dow's down 300. Absolutely love this. Let me get a hell yeah if you like making 2,400 bucks in a day. How many of you made 2,400 bucks or at least 50% on the weekly options trade from yesterday? If some of you aren't in weekly options, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So let me get a hell yeah. Exactly, folks. Look at this shit or stuff. Yesterday we put on 200, and if you're not in weekly options, forgive me for a second, but the only portfolios I can mix, which I'm the skipper and I can do, is between yesterday and today. If we see like a 1 day gain in a trade, we sold the 40 and a half 40 bull put spread yesterday. I said Vol's going to get on its horse this week, folks. And after we did our webinar, 2 hours later, there's BB talking about how Obama, screw the Iranians. We know they're liars, but Obama lied about the Iranian deal. We got a ton of stuff going on. The Dow's accelerating to the downside right now, and volatility is going through the roof. So this is good, awesome. Hey, Jenny, at 400 is 400, man. That's $400 more than you had yesterday. Yes, so it doesn't. I don't care the size is 50%. Tamara, howdy, great booger eating. I've taken it off and I made it into a double vertical. That made me even more money. Steve, we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. Steve, your name's not super familiar, so welcome aboard, Steve. I'm going to teach you how to come up with your own SOP. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can make 50, I'm getting way tactical, but I'm in a great mood. I love the market going down right now. We predicted this. I said, look at that guy. He just looks like a freaking robot. Get a tan. If you can make 50% in a day, remember I like to say that pigs get slaughtered, right? If you can make 50% in a day, would you take that trade? So here's the issue, folks. Is between now and Friday, it literally is a world of time in weekly optionsville, right? So between now and Friday, the world could either end and volatility go through the roof, or who knows? Friday morning, again, laughing about this, Jesus Christ comes back to life and volatility goes to zero. So we'll talk more in depth about this, Steve. But as I'm talking, I just sit here and look at VXX. Where the hell's VXX? And then Susie's on the phone with the Options House. So today, guys, I have to put some more money in this. I have no money in these Options House accounts because I just use it for these educational things. But my quotes are delayed until I get off the webinar here, because I just use this for the tools. I don't use this to execute. But we're going to talk about this in a couple minutes, because looking at a 50% gain in a day, guys, between yesterday. So here's yesterday's weekly options trade, the 40 and a half put, the 40 put. Steve, if you keep this trade on until Friday, and the way I think the rest of the week's going to go, I think we're heading back down to the 200-day moving average. I predicted this last week, guys. We nailed this, man. Blue collar, everybody say it with me. Everybody, and I appreciate the compliments, guys. Blue collar climb. As soon as we went through the 50 and Goldman Sachs and the banks failed to impress, I'm like, done. We're out. We got long volatility. And once we hit this, I said, we're not going to hit the 50-day moving average. We're going back to the 200. Look at this. Look at this trend, guys. We've nailed this. So, Steve, it's a good question, man. And this is when I use the term pilot and command. Literally, when I would walk down to maintenance control in my squadron before, exactly, whoever said that, just like the song says, go on, take the money and run. I would sign for the airplane. I signed for the jet. I'd read all the maintenance that was done on the jet. I'd read everything about it. And so this is one of those pilot and command moments. I think that by Friday, volatility is still going to be elevated. And you could potentially stay in this trade until Friday. And if you risked yesterday $5,200 with 200 contracts, you could make a full almost $5,000 this week. Okay, so let me get untactical for a second, get back to strategic, Remember, if you're brand new, this is what we do. First of all, welcome aboard. Second of all, we do SOT. I'm going to give you a strategic brief about what's going on here. Netanyahu, Syria, all sorts of stuff that's going on, this tariffs and the trade wars. Then we're going to get operational, what's going on here in the States, and then we're going to get tactical, and we're going to look at trades. Zuckerberg, we've seen people misuse our platform. This is going to be a shit show, folks. I love it. Couldn't happen to a nicer limousine liberal. First of all, let me say a quick thank you. If you're not in weekly options, you didn't hear my thank you yesterday. You guys blew the doors off of it. I am honored and humbled by your efforts. So Sunday morning at the crack of dawn, I got up early. I think the race started at 7. But this is the top of Icon at Fort Lauderdale. So every morning I get to watch sunrise. I think of my sister. But you guys blew the doors off of it. My initial mission objective for the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Walk Like Mad event on Sunday was 10 grand. We raised nearly $23,000. So in the history of this Walk Like Mad event, no company, no individual has raised more money than we did. Exactly, Rick. We blew the freaking doors off of that mission objective. So it was great, and I got to be the official starter for. There was like about 1,000 people there. So I wanted to say thank you for all of your donations, and I'll buy us around on June 30th. Down when we do our live event here in Boca. Speaking about that, Susie is meeting with Anka Metcalf from Trade Out Loud, and they're meeting on Thursday to kind of close the loop on this. So I'll get you more details in a little bit. Okay. So, all right, let's get first of all, let's get to our comedy of the day. How do you defame a woman who sleeps with a bunch of things on film for money? How do you defame their character? What, is she not going to be able to work? So, folks, this Mueller investigation, this shit. Remember liberals just going ape shit with Ken Starr, the independent counsel. His initial, charter was to do what? Was Whitewater, right? A real estate deal. At the end, we ended up with a blue dress and an impeachment. I thought liberals hated that. How dare we will never let this type of thing happen again. And by the way, it's consensual sex. Actually, it wasn't. Juanita Broaddrick, Paula Jones, and several women have said that the former president, raped her. And according to Hillary Clinton, all women who make these accusations deserve to be believed immediately, right? No ifs, ands, or buts. They're to be believed, unless they're those women, and they deserve to be destroyed. Anyway, this is your comedy for the day. Stormy Daniels, a porn star. And, they've changed from calling her a porn star in the liberal media to adult film actress. It's comical. Anyway, it's gross. Let me get that off my computer. Yesterday, folks, was a shocking speech. Yesterday's presentation by Benjamin Netanyahu, and what's this have to do with anything, was everything in the market. If Donald Trump now the Dow's down 350. If Donald Trump, when Donald Trump decertifies the Iranian nuke deal, things are going to hit the fan. There's a third possibility. We might keep the current deal. And, Macron came out over here and said, please don't leave. But if anything, keep the deal and try and make changes to it or something like that. Whatever. This is Thomas. Welcome aboard, man. Thanks for your service. Navy veteran and Vietnam cruise. Welcome aboard, my brother. Barack Hussein Obama and his other piece of shit people like John Kerry, they lied through their teeth to us. I sat here on these webinars telling you they're lying through their teeth to us. And Benjamin Netanyahu, what a brazen intelligence gathering, folks. And of course, the Iranians are going to sit here and say, he made up all this intelligence. He didn't. He's got the physical intelligence. Israel doesn't mess around with their intel, folks. The Mossad and some of their other agencies, this is the truth. You guys know that. So May 12th, folks, is coming up pretty damn quickly. There will be a lot of volatility if the dude gets out of that deal. We're going to keep trading vol like you read about in Trade Vol magazine because it is starting to get a little dangerous. Well, exactly, Craig. You can sue a ham sandwich, right? Or you can indict a ham sandwich. But you can call her a liar, but it's the proof, right? So it's so gross. I thought, and even if the Stormy Daniels thing happened, it was consensual sex, right? She's not accusing Donald Trump of rape or anything like that. So I thought Democrats and liberals had no problem with the president and consensual sex. This wasn't even when he wasn't even in office. Can't stand hypocrites. I can't stand stupid people. They drive me nuts. So this is a big deal, folks. We know Iran is getting if they don't already have. Okay, I told you that Israel's been flying their F-35 Joint Strike Fighters over to Steve, over Iran, and this presentation yesterday was for one person. It was for Donald Trump. He had already Netanyahu had already briefed world leaders on this. He had already talked about all this stuff. And Richard, I'm down $3,500 from last week in Raytheon, and Raytheon is dropping fast. What to do? Shouldn't this be going up with the current news? Richard, that's a way tactical question, man. So any of these type of questions, guys, give me 20 to 30 minutes. We have to do our strategic, operational, tactical brief. There's absolutely zero wrong with Raytheon, and I would be adding to that position here. Zero. We'll get to that in a little bit. So let me finish my brief, guys. Remember, in weekly options and primary live trade brief, you guys don't see each other's chats. Tomorrow and Thursday, everybody gets to see each other's chats because we have just shy of 200 members, and we use GoTo training. This is GoToWebinar. But guys, please, it takes me off my game here when I get all these tactical questions. Hold your fire until we get tactical, please. So this is a big deal. It's going to add volatility to the market because Trump, he's either going to decertify it or he's going to do what Macron asked and keep it and say, we got a lot of issues that we got to fix. Let me just keep this up in the background because I want to see what this dude implode live in front of the camera here. Couldn't happen to a nicer liberal. Exactly, Karen. Tell them to breathe, man. If first of all, if you're not down $3,500. See, I'm going to break my own rule and get tactical here. You're not down. When are you down $3,500? When you close, if you close that trade today, of course you'll be down $3,500. This is a Jan 20 trade, folks. All right, here we go. It's just kind of. Does anybody think that Raytheon is going out of business in the next year or 2 years? Here is a 10-year chart of Raytheon, folks. That's exactly right. Everybody answered. It's only down when you close the trade. Look at the chart of Raytheon, folks. So if you are freaked out in the near term, what have I said you can do? If you think it's going lower, you either add to the position or pound the shit out of it with bearish double verticals here. This is why you do a long call diagonal, folks. You can be long-term bullish, and then right now you can be what? You can be short-term bearish. You should be selling what did I say a couple days ago, folks? Sell the front month at the money calls. When did we talk about it? Last week I said sell the whatever was the middle of the Keltner channel, and that could have potentially brought in $1,000 in a couple weeks. So, folks, even as something's going down, you can be making money. This is why you're here, folks. This is what I'm going to teach you. But I have zero problems with Raytheon right now. I get it. That doesn't look pleasurable, but since I've been doing this for too long, I don't give a shit. I sell at the money. I've told you, as something goes down, if something's doing this, I even sell in the money calls. If you think it's going to go a little bit lower still, sell the 200s out the next Friday or the May expiration. What are the 200s? I could make potentially $3,900 if I sold these, and it levels out of its dies right here. Look at this, folks. So with selling just these calls, I forget the name of the gentleman that asked the question. If I just sold these calls and Raytheon levels off where it is, it would negate any loss you have right now. Does that make sense? So if you're just sitting in a Jan 20 long call diagonal, of course it looks like shit. That's not the only thing you should be doing. You should be trading the front months, man. Here's $3,900 potentially by next Friday. So again, I just broke my own rule getting tactical, but you gotta go get a carton of Lucky Strikes, man. This happens. Things don't all go up, but here's the good thing: we're not stock traders, man. We don't sit here and go, "Holy shit, I'm down $3,500." Me, I go, "I'm going to make $3,900 by selling the front month upside calls." Brent, I rolled my 220. I rolled the 220 front month calls down to the 210 calls, and I'm banking money. So everybody see what? And I get it, folks, that you can't see the comments, but here's whoever asked that question. Here is There's Chuck. There's Mark. There's Brian. And you know what? Let me just add what Brian said again. Another Brian. So look at this, guys. The Middle East contracts. If you don't think that war, and again, folks, as a naval aviator, I don't want war. As I look at this, this is what these folks are doing. Sell out the money calls. Add more. Brent actually took some profits on his 220 calls and rolled them down to the 210s. And then Brian's right. Brian knows the space very well. Wait till the Middle East. If you think it's volatile now, when Trump decertifies the nuclear deal, who was it? Some Iranian admiral or general the other day said if he decertifies the deal, we're going to attack American ships. Game on. So as the market implodes, Raytheon stocks like Raytheon go up. Defense is a great place to be. All right, enough. What did I say yesterday, guys? At midnight was a deadline for a trade war over, I think he exempted North Korea and a bunch of other folks. So when the president initially fired a big shot across China's bow here, and then people ignored it, and then it fired again here, what did I say? The adults are talking. The president made these tariffs maybe 3 to 6 months out. They weren't effective that day. Isn't that funny? The market freaked the hell out. And I'm like, everybody just chill out. Do you not understand? If you haven't read it, you don't get this market and you don't get Trump. If you haven't read The Art of the Deal, you're lost. This dude is awesome. He made these things 3 to 6 months out for a reason, right? What did he do last night at midnight? He extended the time and exempted a bunch of our friends. So this is funny, right? Exactly. Germany, UK, Mexico, Canada. Absolutely. So exactly, Graham. It is a rope-a-dope moment. Karen, sorry, but that was a good teachable moment. It was. But because, Karen, I hate when new members show up, and of course the one thing they get in sucks. I feel like shit, but then I feel like shit for about 3 seconds until I understand that you shouldn't feel like shit. I get it says down $3,500 on your screen, but me, I look at that as an opportunity. I'd wipe that $3,500 loss out in the blink of an eye. I think it's still going to go down, Wiz. Why aren't you doing a bearish double vertical? Why aren't you selling at the money calls? Buy some freaking puts, for Christ's sake, if you think it's really going to go down. But by Jan of 2020, Raytheon will be a $350 to $400 stock. Write that down. May 1st at 118, Wiz said 2 years from now, it's a $350 to $400 stock. You can take that one to the bank. So it's still uncertainty, but it's not super uncertainty. You guys know as well as I do, Donald Trump does not want this. Do you think Donald Trump is happy that this shit's happening? The midterms are coming up, folks. Back here, every other press conference was what? Nobody does markets better than me. I'm huge. Everybody making money. I'm huge. I'm awesome. Well, Mr. President, you own this too. You talk a good game when the market was having a rip your face off rally. You also own that. So he is not going to let a trade war happen. If he will back down from, he'll make it sound like he won, but he's not going to let the market go freak mode. So let's move on from the potential trade war. So stocks fall as investors weigh what? Trade negotiations and earnings. What do we have a problem with right now, folks? We have an earnings problem. This is why we've nailed this market recently, folks. Blue collar rally, and it ran right here. I said we're about to stall, man. So I said as soon as we went through the 50-day with airspeed, I said we're done. That's it. If Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, J.P. Morgan earnings, and then everybody and their mother was a brilliant investor last week, weren't they? Right here, folks. Look at this little rally. Oh, with Facebook, what an idiot. I'm like, we have 92% of our trades are winning trades right now. You're going to tweet a month-long trade on Facebook? I said, talk to me in a month. And there we go. Apple earnings will not save this rally, period. We're heading lower. So we have an earnings problem. We ended up getting great earnings, and now we're shrugging. So this is not good. have read in 4-year presidential cycle midterm is weakest year in markets. You know what, Rick? I haven't seen that metric. That sounds probably about right. So we're just not. The economy ain't doing bad, folks. We talked about. Let me clear all this Facebook stuff again. So we had good wages and salaries. All this macroeconomic data last week wasn't that bad. The hell was GDP? 2.3. Business investment is the best it's been in decades. Barack Hussein Obama would have given his kingdom for a 2.3% GDP, right? Oops, sorry. So I don't think corporate earnings have peaked. I still think we're going to get the advantages of tax reform and all this good stuff. This was just this was the market overjoyed with what was going on. Tax reform. Don't forget about all the government regulation, man. For every new regulation that's put on the books in this government, Donald J. Trump has said what? You must cut to. The liberals in the media don't like to cover that. We had a compliance department at Peak 6 that like took up a whole freaking floor. When Barack Hussein Obama became president, the government jumped in with both boots. What did Trump do? Leave? He left. You do anything illegal, I'm going to come back and throw you in jail. But he's ended overregulation, right? Some of the stifling Obama stuff. So this is, Dan, that's kind of what I just said. Our expectations too high for the market. Not anymore. So right now we're kind of, look at this, folks. Where's this? November? Look at November. We're almost back to like where we before liftoff. Remember this? Holy shit, man! December, January. We're almost back to November. So, Dan, very good question. Are expectations too high? You ready? Not anymore. So this is why I think I'm volatile, not necessarily volatile. I'm volatile to neutral right now in the market. Not super bearish, certainly not bullish. I'm bullish long term, obviously, guys. After 9/11, after the financial crisis, after the Iraqi freedom, after the 1987 crisis, whatever big bad thing happened in America, what did the markets do eventually? And this isn't a big bad thing. We just got over our ski tips, right? So we're fine, guys. We don't care. I mean, as Americans, we care, right? We care if the stock market goes up and our neighbors are happy and shit like that. As TGO members and options traders, I don't give a shit where the market's going. So I think we're fine. So anyway, Facebook warn. Graham, thanks for the intel. Graham actually sent this to me from down under. Facebook warns investors that more Cambridge Analyticas are likely. You know where this was? And Graham, nice job. I appreciate the intel. On page, did anybody read this? On page 40, buried in their report, is the warning that, you know what, there's a hell of a lot more of these to come. This is comical. So, and you know, I hit on this last week. I said, you know, oh whiz, what an idiot, blah blah. Look, what the frig did I say? This gap up was a short squeeze. How many of you expected Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg, or the CFO to get on that call and say, oh, Jesus Christ almighty, we are screwed? Do you think that's what CEOs do, especially limousine liberals? They got on that call and said, we are the greatest thing ever and we're printing money. They did print money, folks, but that is looking backwards. Earnings look backwards. But of course their forward guidance was what? Sunshine and lollipops. They're liars. They're limousine liberal liars from the Bay Area. This was a lot of people caught short. This is why I don't trade earnings, guys. This short squeeze is what? Ending and is going down here. Jeffrey Gunlock used a great analogy. He said, we've seen a roach. If you see one roach in your kitchen, folks, do you think that's just, Joe running around? He's got a whole family, man, and it is downhill from here for Facebook. So that one, I did the trade out for a month for a reason, guys, right? We didn't buy oil short Facebook. How about our Death Star? You ready for this? Goldman fined $110 million for improperly rigging the FX market. The good old Death Star, man. I remember in Chicago, they'd be telling their clients one thing and trading behind the doors doing the exact opposite. Graham, I think you need, Graham nailed that. I've been briefing you on the Facebook shit that Germany has the strictest privacy laws in the world. And what happened today? The members of parliament demanded, they didn't ask. So they asked a couple weeks ago or whenever it was for Zuckerberg to come testify in front of the House of Commons or whatever it is. He politely declined. Now they ain't being polite. This dude's going to be on TV in Britain. He's going to be on TV in Germany. This dude needs to resign to save the stock. That's the risk to this trade, guys. Remember, when we got into that trade, I said the only way this thing's going up is if that dude moves over to some figurehead role or leaves. And I had a polite disagreement with one of my members who's like, he's a great CEO or whatever. I'm like, he sucks. He's a good entrepreneur, man. What a great idea. Anybody who can get people to give him his private information is awesome. He's a shitty CEO. So, Mark, Wiz, another great call with Win, which is printing money. You got it, man. We're going to talk Win tomorrow. That's in a different portfolio. But what did we say about Win, man? This is awesome. I saw that, Steve. I didn't get a chance to respond to that. He sold what? Over 2.4 million in shares. Rick, the Death Star is slang for Goldman Sachs. I like to say that Goldman Sachs is the Death Star of the financial world. Where the hell did that go? So right here, I call Goldman Sachs the Death Star because they roaches, Twinkies, and Goldman Sachs will be around at the end of the world. The old Death Star, exactly. Oh, geez, Tamara, I didn't see that. Arthur, with a whole army of mini Zuckerbergs at his company, then what do? I'm telling you, man, does anybody remember a website or a social media thing called MySpace? I told you I'm going to be getting rid of my personal Facebook profile. I have to decide on my business one, and I might get rid of that as well. I'm on Instagram, but folks, you just can't. I can't. You can't trust the guy. All right, we need to get tactical here, folks. We need to move. What's going on this week? What a busy week. We have a Fed meeting tomorrow. Where are we? We got some PEC numbers. This wasn't necessarily good information here, folks. Look at this. Personal spending and personal income. Look at this. This is also why the market's down a little bit. This is not good macroeconomic data. Personal spend, people are spending about the same. They haven't increased their spending, and they're making less. This is a little bearish here, guys. Look at this macroeconomic data. Everybody pay attention. I'm going to show you in a couple weeks when we start our live training at night where I get all my intelligence. But let me put this in the chat box. You guys need to be looking at this thing. In the old days, market moving in, that was market moving stuff. I know that the market's weak a little bit on a bunch of other issues, but this is another reason why, man. That data ain't good. What else is going on here? Let me take a look. We got ADP tomorrow. We have a Fed meeting. I think we get 25 bip increase. So there's the FOMC statement. Non-manufacturing PMI, factory orders. Factory orders on Thursday will be a big one. What time is that? 10 a.m. We'll see. And this site, folks, you can click open the little folder and it'll tell you everything. This is the biggest. If you don't know what a report is, I love this. This is the caveman. This is for Wiz. Why traders care. It's a leading indicator of production. Rising purchase orders signal that manufacturers will increase activity and fill their work orders. So we get factory orders on Thursday. ISM non-manufacturing PMI. So if you see Rick Santelli and stuff, and when they're briefing these reports, you can come here and you can even see how it's been looking in the past. So let's look at this, the little chart thing. Let's go forward in time and take a look at, wow, that's choppy, man. Oof, factory orders is not consistent. And then Friday, this is the big. So whoever asked earlier about, hey, Wiz, would you close this volatility bull put spread for a nice 50% gain in a day? I would, because I have no idea how the hell the market's going to react Friday to this non-farm payroll number. If it's good, listen to me closely. let's say we get a good number here. The market might go down. Why? Okay, Wiz, that makes no sense to me. It was good. We have good jobs data. That means Jerome Powell, the current Fed chief, has some air cover, man. He can go, wow, the economy's hitting on all cylinders. We're near full employment. I can raise interest rates even faster. When interest rates are high, stocks will die. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. So I don't like trading. I don't like events where I don't know how the market's going to react, right? Exactly. Bizarro market. Good news, bad news type of thing. So I think that's it as far as tactical. But folks, I got to be honest with you. I'm neutral to volatile. My strategic mindset is not cautiously bullish. My strategic mindset is not bearish. I don't think we're doing this. I don't think we're doing this. We ain't going to stay at, and look at the tightness of this band, folks. Look at the market. We're getting to what is and again, I'm not super Joe technical trader. I do it. I get it. I use it as one of my 50 things that I look at. But this is, we're not going to stay this super tight forever. Something's got to give. And we got a nuclear deal coming up where, look at North Korea. I get it. Liberals and, the Nobel Peace Prize, everybody won't give Trump one. If this were Hillary Clinton pulling this shit off with North Korea, folks, they'd be all over this like white on rice. But of course you can't. It's Donald Trump. So if I have my bias, to be honest with you, it's to the downside, right? What was it? Last Monday I did timing research. What did I say? I said a 0.8 or 0.9, whatever it was. I think the other dude said 0.8. I was like, we are going down with a 90% probability. And we were right. Okay, let's get tactical and start trading. First day with the new mouth. All right, but let's cover the weekly options trade real quick. I like taking profits. A 50% gain in a day, man, is a nice looking trade. What was it, the 40 and a half, 40? 200 of them? And again, folks, somebody help me out. Now we're up 13 cents, right? 13, you ready for this? Mental math times 200 equals, this trade is up $2,600 in a day. Tamara, you and me both, man. I can't wait for the midterm election trades. We're going to have a blast trading the election. So if you're in, again, I'm the skipper and I can break my SOP. If you're in this trade from yesterday, the weekly options trade, you are up 58% in a day. And like the guy in the song said, go on, take the money and run. What if whatever happens the rest of the week in the market reverses and has a rip your face off rally? And again, a $2,800 gain in a day. That paid for an full throttle. In one day, we paid for what? A full throttle offensive annual trade. Okay. So hopefully everybody who's brand new and welcome aboard is happy with that. And look at that. Whoever was down or is down, quote unquote, the 3,500 in the Raytheon, this is why you have multiple positions on. This is why you can't, I won position Raytheon. And if that's the truth, you shouldn't be in that, just that. Okay. So let me blast that out. I'm going to do the go on, take the money and run. So it's 11 cents, right? Okay. So let's send out a text alert. I have a presentation, I think at 6 o'clock tonight with Festival of Traders. So weekly options update, VXX close the 40 and a half, 40 bull put spread for a 20, was it 2,600? 28. What did I say? 2,600? 50, better stay this way, or 58% profit. It's a profit when you close it in one day. And I got to be honest with you. Maybe we'll kill two birds with one stone. What's the 40 and a half, 39 and a half looking like? Oh my God, that's at 30. This one's up what? $3,500? Holy crap, man. We are looking So again, if you're just in Raytheon, there's two volatility trades here that are up at about $6,000 in profit. Oh, it's this one. No, that was the weekly options. What is that? Damn it! Somebody remind me of what portfolio that's from. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Good mutual support. I might send out 2 text alerts. And there's not. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, analyze your trade. And there's nothing to say that we can't re-enter one of these right now for a couple weeks out. I can't send 2 texts out. And guys, here, for example, here's the Raytheon from last week. What did I say? So this trade, selling these Raytheon calls short last week. Look at this. So that one's already making money. Stop scrolling. Love Steve Miller. Go on, take the money and run. Tamara said she lost sound, and if she did, I can't tell her to. Yeah, here it is. Did anybody get long the VIX calls like I said? So this trade's at 18 cents. Where is it? The 40.5. 18. What's 48? That's 40 cents. 40 times this trade's at $4,000. Look at this, guys. This trade. So again, it sucks to be losing money on Raytheon. You're even with this trade. This trade is up $4,000 right now. We got filled at 48 cents. It's at 8, whatever it is. What the hell did I just say it's at? Welcome back, Tamara. It's at 17 cents. I'm going to send out 2 text alerts, guys, so indulge me, please. 48 minus 17 equals, 31. $3,100. Sorry. 31. Yeah, because we had 100 contracts. This mouse sucks. Yep. Wow. Nice trade. Go on, take the money. Weekly options update. Close yesterday's. It's 40.5, 40 bull put spread for 2,600 in one day. Well, I can't send it. I'm going to have to send a separate text. Yeah, Dennis, you're right. It's this one is for May 4th. No. You're talking about a different one. This one I'm talking about right here it's a May 4 expire. We put on a different one in a different portfolio. Remember, I said I'd go out another week. So I'm talking about the analyze your trade. This one right here, the May 4th. There's another one on. Oh, there's a thunderstorm there, Tamara. I get it. Weekly options update. VXX close. Okay. So whoever asked me that question about, I will take a 50% profit in a day anytime and close it. Does that make sense? You know what? Let me put this for our having SMS issues, people. Let me do this. Kentucky Derby time. So let's go having SMS issues. Weekly options and analyze your trade, closing VXX spreads. So this little email goes out to people who are having SMS issues. So I'll post that one in there, and let me close the analyze your trade one. So analyze your trade. Love these, man. Love these volatility trades. So isn't this awesome? If you're new to options trading, isn't this awesome? Didn't know about volatility, all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I want to get out of it, Brian. I wouldn't say it's falling fast. You know, the Dow was only down 290 points. Now it's back down above 300. We're going to have a mid-afternoon sell-off. Analyze your trade and debrief. Update. Close for May 40.5, 39.5 VXX bull put spread. Oh, I didn't put a price in the other one. That's why the text looks short. That was stupid. At an 11 cent debit for It was 48 cents, right? 48, yeah, 48 minus 11 times $3,700, $3,700, and that's what, an 87% gain. I'm having fun, man. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. For a $3,800, 87% gain in a week and a half. So again, I don't want to harp on the Raytheon thing, but you have to sit here and say, okay, I just made 24. I'm talking in general, $2,400 plus $3,800 equals what? In 2 volatility trades, you're up $6,200. Okay, well, Wisdom down minus $3,500 in Raytheon. You're up $2,700 net in those 3 trades. So exactly, Brian, it's a diversified portfolio. Love our vol trades. Whew. All right, let me blast this one out. I got my phone's buzzing, which means I did get my text. Again, I sorry I'm taking up time in the primary live trade brief, but if I need to exit trades, I'm doing it in whatever portfolio I'm in. All right, so let me paste this. So here's for all my problem children, so to speak, who are having SMS issues. There's your email. And if you're watching me on the replay, we're having a great time. Thomas, Win is up 73%. Win is printing money. Well, Win's in the analyze your trade. I'm sorry, is in accelerated retirement. We'll talk about that tomorrow too. Jan, I just answered that. We don't have time to cover Win today. It's not in this portfolio, and I'm not going to waste the time of people that are in here. Let's talk about now. Let's get going. We got to cover existing positions in here. Dano, I'm singing Looking Glass. Brandy, you're a fine girl. Congrats, Wiz, and thanks. You're welcome, man. We love it. All right, so guys, listen to me. Here we go. Let's talk about Raytheon here, because I get it. We have disaster puts. We have the 175 calls, blah, 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 blah. Raytheon, there is zero wrong with Raytheon. Zero. Fundamentally wrong, guys. Absolutely not. Where the hell's my news? All right, did they take away my news as well? Because I don't have. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the wrong. Look at this, the perpetual business of war. I read that this morning. This is a good article, man. This is you got to be bullish on stuff that does war. I get it. I've flown combat missions. You don't like war. You don't want to die. We don't like any of this stuff. But this is and exactly, Brian. The earnings were phenomenal. The forward guidance, unless you're saying you're going to absolutely take over the world, forward guidance lately has got to be like epic. This is what I briefed you, folks. This is why I'm saying stocks have an earnings problem. Raytheon was a beat on the top and bottom line, and it sold off. That happens. This is what happens, folks. Welcome to the world, right? These were not bad earnings, okay? So let me, and foreign contracts are growing a percentage of net income. You look at when these world leaders come over here. How many times does Donald Trump tell them in public, like, military stuff? He was yesterday, the president of Nigeria, or prime minister, or grand sultan, whatever the hell the guy's title was like, dude, you're buying, nobody does defense stuff better than us. You're buying more. Buy, I'm selling you, discount. So this is, there is no problem at all with this stock. That does not look pleasant, but as an options trader, I don't care. If you're worried about, and this goes down to everybody, not who brought it up earlier. If you're worried about a Jan 20 position, which has 2 years until it expires, if you're watching it that tactically, I'm going to tell you right now, and Karen, here you go. Here's more of Obama teachable moments here. Do not look at the Jan 20. Profit or loss. I'm serious. Unless, Raytheon CEO is the Antichrist and the stock's going to go to zero. Then you get out of the damn thing. And we also have disaster puts. Here's what I'm getting at. Do not look at the Jan 20 results, man. If your strategic mindset on why you got into Raytheon and your commit criteria are sound, it is not, somebody said earlier, add to it, right? I would, and to be honest with you, this does not look like a falling knife. Whoa, that looks brutal, Wiz. Let's do it one more time. Let's hop in our time machine and actually go backwards this time. Look at the 1 year. Look at the 2 year. Look at the 5 year. Look at the 10 year. And the 10-year chart does not work on Raytheon for some reason. I got to transfer money in here to get this thing up. I saw that, Arthur. He did. He said, I know you love our helicopters and you're getting them faster, King. It was awesome. Tamara, you will go insane and you will go broke. I couldn't have said that better, folks. Do not look at a Jan. I really don't look at my Jan 20s, how they're doing. I'm too busy trading the shit out of the front month. Okay? The buyers will step into Raytheon eventually. If you think this stock is going to zero, get out of it right now. Period. So this is Rick. Chuck Hughes, someone else I listen to, recommends buying diagonals at bottom or middle of a Keltner channel in uptrending stocks. Well, Rick, let me dissect what you said. I don't know the dude other than the CNBC commercial, and he was a pilot. I know zero about him. But does that make sense until the second half of that guy's statement? Uptrending stocks. Well, if something's going down here, obviously, first of all, this is why. What did I say last week, folks? We looked at a Jan 20 trade on Raytheon, and people are like, hey, there's earning next week. I'm like, I don't care. Now I get this was the result. Let me say those words again. I really don't care. Hell, the stock could have done that on earnings, and I don't give a shit. I'm looking at the Jan 20, man. If you're looking, we talk about landing an airplane. If you're looking like where you're going to land aboard the ship, you have to actually look at the bow of the aircraft carrier as you're coming into land. You have to look far away, because if you look at like the back of the ship, you look at where you're going to land. If you're looking this tactical right now, you can't. So right now in Raytheon, I would look, and whoever said they sold you rolled your 220s down to the 210s and you're banking money, well done. I would absolutely do that. Or I would sell these 210s out a couple weeks. And of course, the 210, as soon as I get off the phone, I'm calling these. Okay, they came up with a price here. I would sell these. I would sell 10 of the May 18 and bring in what? Nearly $1,000. Is everybody understanding this? And if you're not, you didn't watch the long call diagonal free. I gave you free access to it. Hold on, let me delete this. Just see if you're a Commodores Club client. Okay, perfect. Just answer that. So you can potentially bring in $1,000. So you know what? Just let me grab a screenshot of this. Does this understand? That's exactly right, Craig. You need to land where the ship is going to be, not where it is right now. Because by the time you get there, it's where the ship was, and you're going to have a bad day. Only thing is the Jan 2020 expiry, which has a lot of time. That's exactly right. Doug, can you only sell front month calls against long positions as not to be naked? Exactly. You can't. So, folks, do not even look at this screen right now if you're not in Raytheon. Well, first of all, your broker's not going to let you sell this short. Unless you have level 99 options trading approval. I don't even, folks, when you fill out a form to get a brokerage account, they ask you, do you ever sell? Nobody in this room is allowed to sell naked calls, period. I'm telling you. I can, and I never would. You're stupid. It's dumb. So yes, never happened. So I could, because of this right here. Does everybody in this room, your eyes should have gone here first. What is our max potential loss? Infinite. Don't ever do this. If you're not in the long Raytheon calls, do not even look at the screen. Period. And I usually don't send out text alerts, guys, on the front month calls because it's a waste. You can see it in the replay. If we have a spread, I'll send out an alert. But for now, if you're in Raytheon, I'd be looking at selling these. Here's the risk to this trade, folks, is what? Here's the risk to selling these front month upside calls, guys. Look at this. Yeah, and that's why you get out of the trades. Arthur said, I don't know what just happened. Some news probably hit. Let me look over. Nothing's hit me real now. So, exactly, Werner. The risk is this. The risk is, Goldman Sachs comes out and upgrades Raytheon to a $400 stock. Here's the risk in the trade and selling these calls is the damn thing turns around. So, wait a minute, Wiz, I have a Jan 20 on. I wanted to turn around. Exactly. Okay. So, and Reg, very good mutual support. Hey, Wiz and Raytheon, the past 4 days, volume has been what? Declining. The biggest volume was the one with the long tail where buyers came in. Thank you, man. So this is also low volume, guys. There ain't no panic here is what I'm saying. I mean, there might be panic on your side, but you haven't been at TGO for a while. This ain't panic looking, man. To me and other TGO members, this is opportunity here. Okay. So yeah, hold on. Oh, it's some trade data. Somebody, who was it, Mnuchin? Okay. Yeah, so look at this, folks. We've had a 100-point swing in the Dow since we've been talking. This is why you go on, take the money and run. Not only is Friday a world away, but me starting this brief an hour ago was a world away. So look at volatility's actually coming in. So this is why you get out of these things when you can take the money and run. Does that make sense? I mean, I was wrong, and I love being wrong when it's in a good way. I said we might have day ain't over yet, man. We might have an afternoon sell-off and this thing head higher, but look at this. So this is why I sent out those 2 text alerts to get out of those 2 damn trades. Go on, take the money and run. So Raytheon is a dead horse. VXX, we printed money and are still printing money. Let me see if we have any other PLTB positions I want to cover. Oh, that's why I want to talk about ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is another good. Let's talk XOM because that trade. We haven't talked ExxonMobil in a while. Whoa, hold on. Wow, stop. Right around that Keltner channel, man. Doyle, I was going to. You're kind of reading my mind a little, to be honest with you. I don't want to scare people. Maybe I know a really close friend of mine, really, really good close friend of mine is looking at a 190 bull put spread. Okay. You know what? I mean, you guys are members because you want to hear what I would do. Let me show you what I would do with Raytheon right now. That's why you're here. Let me table ExxonMobil. I would absolutely, Doyle, I love the way you look at a bull put spread on Raytheon. This is what you do, man. You trade the shit out of the front months. It would be, whoops. That was stupid. 190, 185. Well, so the answer is yes, man. Would I do that? Here's the problem, though, is there's not that much premium in it, right? Maybe there's a 195, isn't there? Whoa, didn't mean to save that. But this is sporty, Doyle. This is why I didn't. This is a sportier trade. If you believe that the selling volume is, man, I'm not doing my mental math well today. Let me get to. Hold on. The answer is yes, Doyle. I like the way you're thinking. No, you don't have to apologize. It's funny because part of my Obama teachable moment with Raytheon was going to be this. What did I say? I said I would sell front month calls. I'd sell the 210s. Whoever rolled them down from the 220s to the 210s gets a gold star. That's exactly what you should do. And I also said what? If you think it's going to keep on going down, pound the shit out of it into the ground with a bearish double vertical. I don't think it's going to keep going down, right? I'd sell these 210s. What I was, and I didn't wrap up, but since Doyle brought it up, I'm gonna blame it on Doyle for bringing it up and give him a gold star. I'd look at a bull put spread here. I don't think this is a falling knife, guys. The bottom of the Keltner channel is the 190. Okay, if it keeps going down to 190, the hair on the back of my neck is going to start standing up. I'm going to go, what's going on here? Right? So I like this. Hold on. Okay. So the 195, that's assuming we're going to, and whoever asked, hey, should we give it one more day? You could. This is what I would be looking at for Raytheon. It's a little north of my $5,000. And the metrics are a little lower, 64% using at the money vol. So you know what? I'm not going to blast this trade out, as the portfolio manager of this, and it already gained 4 cents. But this is a sportier trade. Does that make sense? So, yeah, Tamara, I haven't looked at Northrop Grumman. I don't look at Lockheed. I'm not looking at any of those. This is where I love. But you're right. Some of the other ones are. So this is the one I would do if I wasn't Wiz portfolio manager. Wiz, a little bit more aggressive trader, might be doing something different. But as the skipper of the primary live trade brief, this is sportier. I think it's bottoming out and it's going to turn higher. It has every time it does one of these pullbacks. So does that make sense? So if you're interested in that, I can't tell you what to do. It's Tim, I haven't given you a direct answer why the sell-off. It's a sell on the news, man. We are so I've brought this up a couple times, folks. Is this stocks have an earning problem? New worries for stock investors. Are corporate earnings peaking? So Raytheon's earnings, Tim, were good, right? Their forward guidance wasn't setting the world on fire, but apparently, even if you set the world on fire, shit's selling off. Look at Facebook, guys. Let's go back to the stock we love to hate. Wiz, you're an idiot. What a horrible trade. Pfft. Cricket. So even the technology Death Star, Facebook, Wiz, you're an idiot, man. They're loaning money to God. They made so much more money. Then why ain't the stock doing that? Shit for brains. It's not. But Tim, the difference between the examples I just gave you, and so as Tim said, well, look at CSX. CSX did what, Tim? It gave a little bit of a head fake back to the gap, didn't it? Look at this. Gap move up. This is a solid chart. Look at that, folks. CSX. So if you're a new member, CSX is we have a Jan 20 on CSX, which is now it's doing it's doing well. Again, I don't necessarily look at this is a yes, guys. This is your infrastructure trade. This is Donald Trump saying, all right, I got tax reform passed. Now I'm moving over to railroads, roads, bridges, infrastructure, union jobs. And you know what, folks? I think he's kind of been dragging his feet on it for what? Midterm elections. Do you think some blue waves coming? Donald Trump's going to be in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Steubenville, Ohio, going, look at that. You see that bridge? You see, Steve and Joe over there, they got jobs now. Me. So I love CSX. So this is a teachable moment right here. If a stock gaps up and holds about half the gap, it's bullish. CSX gapped up and held half the gap. Facebook did what? Hey, didn't hold half the gap. That's bearish. So look, here's your Obama teachable moment on CSX. I was looking at a CSX bull put spread, but I wanted ExxonMobil. We have to talk about ExxonMobil and oil, but Brian, Susie was born in Steubenville until she was 3. Then she moved to Bokovo. So her grandmother played in Dean Martin's band. Isn't that awesome? Brad, exactly. Let's do this then. It's 2:00. We got time. This is bull put spread material here, obviously. But let me tell all my new members, welcome. We love you. I rarely trade front month spreads that I don't have a Jan 20 in. Okay? Let's look at a bull put spread here. We'll do that before ExxonMobil. If you don't have a Jan 20 in CSX, you could do this front month trade as a standalone, but I don't like it. You got a lot of shit going on. You got Jan 20s out there. You got solo front month spreads that you're not at the Jan 20. I like keeping a nice tight grouping. Okay, like Raytheon. I got a Jan 20. I can sell some short calls. I'm going to do a bull put spread. I got a lot of tight stuff. So, Wiz, I like your front month trade. Jan 2020 is good. Exactly, Sam. So the Jan 20 on CSX is looking great. And so here's the two trades. I actually got two things to do. Let's do two things with CSX. I would sell some front month upside calls, and let's go to the options. We actually have weeklies on this thing, man. Where did it peak out at? The 61.5. Is there any premium in the 61.5s out a couple weeks? Yes. So here you go. Let's do two trades. We got a lot going on. Let's do two trades on CSX. How many Tim, what was the trade back in the day? I don't have my Excel sheet in front of me. What's the trade? How many contracts did we do? Does anybody remember if you did what I did? What's the it's down in Fort Lauderdale. I forget how many contracts. Well, I'm not going to wait, guys. So I would sell front month upside calls and bring in maybe $380. This might not sound like a lot. It is a lot, folks. In 2 weeks, if every 2 weeks, there's 52 trading weeks in a year, right? There's 52 weeks in a year. So 26. What's 26 times $400? 26 times 400. Okay. You could potentially make in that time nearly 10 grand just in selling front month upside calls. That's if the stock goes nowhere. What if it goes up, Wiz? Exactly. So with these and that's a 73% probability. So with CSX, let's do two trades in the front month. And this is what you should be doing in these, guys. You shouldn't be sitting there looking at a Jan 20 losing money and going, son of a bitch. Do something. Execute on the front months. Sell some upside calls. Ride the direction. Do something with the front month. Yeah, and Greg, like I said, if you look at the top of my screen, I got to throw some coin in this account to keep the real-time quotes. E-Trade caught on to me. And I can't stand TradeStation. Their business development division is awful. Tim, good. And Tim's got that iron condor. We talked about that a week or two ago. I forget what your strikes were. I said, what? This is good looking. It hasn't made a head fake back down to the Keltner channel. Well, that's not a head fake, guys. A little bit of a head fake here, but this is bullish, man. I love CSX. My shitty infrastructure trade, which I have no problem admitting, was GE 5 months ago. And it's just wallowing down in the gutter, man. So we got out of that right around. Well, we did good. So, John, trust me, man. I'm not bad mouthing TradeStation that badly. When you're a veteran and you trade for free, son of a bitch, man. I'll sing their praises from the rooftop. Okay, good. Richard, I don't have that in front of me. Just go. So, folks, go to the member pages. Like, go to the Primary Live Trade Brief member page, and you can scroll back and see exactly when we got into it and what the price was. And I can do. Well, I'm not going to waste time here. That's the problem between having two places, Boca and Fort Lauderdale. I leave shit all over the place. Oh man, we haven't talked about Brazil either. Son of a bitch. All right, we got to move, man. No, just look back here, Richard. Okay. Crazy Ivan. That's exactly. Arthur, Steve, he is rocking the iron condors, man. Tim's doing a good job. Tim uses the Ready Room a lot too, which is he's a smart guy because he does what? Hey man, I need some mutual support. I like to let's go to the middle of the Keltner channel and I'm going to let the leash out a little bit. Like the 57.5 is the middle of the Keltner channel. I almost want to go out a month, man. This is how good I feel in CSX, letting the leash out a little bit. Thank you, my friend. Tim said I learned it all from you. It means a lot, man. Pay it forward. Maybe we do the 58s. Now the Dow's halved its losses. So whoever asked about getting out of the volatility trades, now you know why I did it. Look at this. Now the Dow's down 190 points. So go on, take the money and run. Now it doesn't mean that, the market's rallying and we're all going to, peace, love, and understanding's broken out and those trades, we're not going to sell off tomorrow. But don't look a gift horse in the mouth, folks. When you can close a one-day trade for 50%, and that is good living. Then you can go to a cocktail party and just sit there and with a massive smile on your face, right? All right, let me look at this real quick because we got a lot to talk about. Oof, 6,500, maybe 85 contracts, 75. Going once, going twice. Sold. Nope, 80. I was right. All right, so this is CSX. Let me say this one more time. Why? Because repetition is the key. You bet, Mark. Thanks, Wiz. This is if you're not in a Jan 20, is this a good standalone trade? I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I would only be doing front month spreads and the random forays where I've traded the front month and not had a Jan 20 on. I got smacked around a little bit in Tesla. We ended up making money on the front months in Tesla, but you just listen to me, please. I've learned. I got my battle scars and stuff like that, so you don't have to. Learn from my mistakes. Ooh, look at that. This thing's holding Tesla rate, but no, the Richard, U.S. officials, Israel preparing war with Iran, seeking U.S. support. Oof, I'm telling you, man, Israel's not messing around. Pat Buchanan, I like Pat Buchanan, and then he's a horse's ass. He said of Netanyahu's speech yesterday, he's like, Netanyahu's been, crying wolf for Iran for 10 years. Well, listen, Pat, for the past 10 years, for the past 8 years, we've had Barack Hussein Obama doing a bowing tour around the Middle East. Remember that quote? If the winds in America ever blow against Muslims, I will stand with the Muslims. You son of a bitch. And then he also said like Muslims were the foundation of this country. No, they weren't. Who was it? Thomas Jefferson sent the United States Marines halfway around the world to the shores of Tripoli to kill the Muslim pirates. Idiot. All right, so let's go. Strategic, and whoever asked, yes, this is a good entry point for CSX for a Jan 20. It's always a good entry point. There's a 6-month chart. That's Raytheon. 3, 6. It hasn't. It's been. Here's where we got into Raytheon. This was a Gordon Gekko trade. Right here was a tragedy. So what the hell was his name? I forget. See, I already forget. Gordon Gekko moment. CEO dies. They didn't have a. If you have my book, and who somebody bought my book the other day. I just signed it, and it's in the mail. But I talk about succession planning. A lot of CEOs think what? They are imperial. They're never going to die. And God, who the hell do you think you are talking about? I'm not going anywhere. And then they drop dead. So we got into CSX right here. It has a good climb schedule on it. We kind of wallowed around here as people said, is this new skipper going to be able to do good things? Can he take the ball and run with it? Yep. So whoever asked is now a good entry point for a Jan 20? The answer is hell yeah. I'm telling you, Donald Trump he's smart, man. We got the midterms coming up. He's going to start flying around this country talking up the infrastructure spending, right? Fish, so much better to read than the James Comey book. James Coma, exactly. So So yeah, I like a Jan 20 here. I liked it here. I liked it there. I liked it with green eggs and ham. So here you go. Let's do a front month bull put spread on CSX. My strategic mindset, and let me give you my strategic mindset. Step one in our trade planning process is always, what is our current strategic mindset? Well, unless you were late, I said what? I'm volatile to neutral-ish. I ain't bullish and I ain't bearish. Why would you put on a bull put spread? Take a mental snapshot of this. Everybody look at that. That looks like a shit show, man. It looks like a sugar come down. Now look at this. Does CSX look like it has any correlation to the S&P 500? Zero. So I like trading stocks, whether it's Win, whether it's Raytheon, whether it's CSX, that kind of are immune to what's going on in this market, right? Look at. Let me just get off topic for a second. Let's go to Win. Look at this. Going right to, does that look like the S&P 500 for the past couple months? No, it doesn't, Wiz. That's exactly right. So, and we have a Win Iron Condor that's going right down the fairway. What did I do last week, folks? I did it for Options Weapons School people. We did what? We sold a bear call spread right here. Or I'm sorry, idiot. We sold the bull put spread. Why would you do that? That's reverse psychology. No. And then I sold the bear call spread the other day. So you sell. So we do trades that don't look like a freak show and you have to bite your fingernails, right? I get it. Raytheon doesn't look good to you. I really don't care what it looks like. Steve, let me answer this. So Steve says, hey man, what would a Jan 20 trade look like? This is what you're going to do, Steve. Until I do the long, since we got 18 minutes left, you need to go here. If you can't wait for me to do my live, training, you need to watch this. This will tell you how to do a Jan 20 on, or either long call diagonal or synthetic stocks. I don't know which one would be better, to be honest with you. You got to price both of them out. Well, how the hell do I do that? This is what you have to do. So, Steve, whenever you get a chance, watch this one, man. And it's an hour and a half, however long session on a long call diagonal versus a synthetic stock. Okay, I don't want to sit here because it would take about 30 minutes to do, and I like using these things up, for trades. Perfect, Steve. Mark, bull put spread on Win is up 52%. Time to get out. So what did I just say, Mark? And that's a what? 1 week we put that on what? Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, whenever. If you can make 52% in a week, would you be happy, Mark? So, to be honest with you, I like 50% in a week, but I also like this. This thing's got some airspeed under the jet. So maybe, in weekly options trades, folks, I will tell you in 1 day, 50% I'm out. In this trade that had a little bit more time, I'm not going to be a pig, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. Remember my rule of thumb for credit spreads. If there's a 70, 80, or 90% gain in that trade outside of a week, that's when I look to close it. So to me, Mark, I'm probably going to hang out and win a little bit more because it's got some good airspeed underneath it, okay? Does that make sense? Or, hey, Brent brings up a great point, Mark. Take half the contracts off, right? Take half the contracts off. Dan says, Steve, take notes from the training. Refer to them every time you trade. Well done, Dan. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I got scatterbrained there. We should have stayed on CSX. But what I was getting at was my strategic mindset, okay? So CSX, here is a front month bull put spread. I'm going to sell 80. Why 80? Give me 2 minutes. Of the June 1st. Why June 1st? I'm going to let my leash out a little bit. This isn't looking super volatile with what's going on in the markets. And as we get closer to the midterm elections, I think Donald Trump starts pounding the hell out of the Democrats in the blue states saying, I'm creating jobs, building bridges and roads and railroads, and CSX is going up. That's why I'm going out a month. Why the 58s? There's the Keltner channel. It's right around 57-ish. I think we hold here. This is very bullish right here. Right here. Look at this. Sell 80 of the June 1st 58 puts and buy as a hedge the 57s. Why are you buying these downside puts, the 57s? Well, what if I'm wrong? Trump, whatever. I don't know, the CEO dies. There's always risks to a trade. That's why we don't sell naked puts, right? We just don't sell these. We buy these as a hedge in case CSX implodes, right? This is called so what am I doing? Well, it sounds like you're a little bullish, at least neutral on CSX. I am. Sounds like you're using puts, and it's a spread. It's a bull put spread. It's also called a credit spread, right? We're taking in some coin to do this. Love it. Love getting paid. Love being the house. We love being MGM or Win, right? We love it, love it, love it. So as soon as I click on to analyze this trade, we're going to do what? We're going to do what? We're going to look at one place and one place only, the sad face. Max potential risk is $5,200. My personal SOP and my portfolio manager SOP are what? I don't want to risk more than 5% of a $100,000 model portfolio in any one trade, right? That would be $5,000, and this is pretty damn close. This $5,000, remember, folks, is based on what? 80 contracts. You don't like risking $5,000? Don't do 80 contracts. Don't do the trade. Do 160 contracts. Do 1,000. Do 0. That ain't my business. You guys are eavesdropping in on me. Okay. Whatever you do in your bunny slippers is your own. No, Frank, I hardly ever leg out of a bull put spread. Like, just close the short leg and let the long. Nah. You can, absolutely, but that's just not the way I fly my airplane. Now we look up here and say, all right, man, I know my risk. I'm a good Hornet fighter pilot. I'm a good options trader. I'm a good attorney. I'm a good doctor. I know how I can lose, and I'm prepared for that. Well, you know what I'm saying. Now, so we can make $2,800 in a month. We can, Wiz. $2,800 in a month is more than some people make in a job in a year, folks. So this is a good looking trade. The break even is where? Right about here, 57.65. Right around this look at that fifth. There it is, folks. Right at the Keltner channel is this break even. So I like this trade. Let's analyze it real quick. Another reason Uncle Wiz likes to be an options trader is what? We make money 3 ways. You're a stock trader. You got to buy this stock and hope. You can make money 3 ways too. Buy, hope, and pray. You buy it, you hope it goes up. If it doesn't, you pray. Not us, man. We make money 3 ways. Here's the blue line, right? That's CSX. We make money if it goes up. What if it just hangs out around where it's been doing, Wiz? We make money. And we make money if it goes down, as long as it stays above the break even, which is right at the middle of that Keltner channel. And we'll talk about this in our training, the Greek that we love is Theta, man. We're the Fort Lauderdale Ferrari dealer. Oops, let me scroll down. Theta right here, man. And of course, nothing's appearing down there, but a 0. I gotta get my real-time quotes on here, guys. So we get Theta, right? And we love saying one of our Wizism is unched on the day equals time decay. If CSX just kind of wallows around, we make money every day if it wallows. With Theta, with time decay. If you've ever bought a car, you're familiar with time decay. Why? Because as soon as you pulled out of the dealership, the damn car started losing money. It depreciated, right? So you want to be the dealer. You want to be the person that sells the car to the person having their midlife crisis. That's what you want to do, right? Of course, my mouse isn't working. I don't want that. I want this. Copy. All right. Let me blast this out to our fellow squadron mates who are unavailable or watching us on the replay. Primary live trade briefs. Paste. Okay, PLTB, new CSX bull put spread. 80 contracts. I can spell contracts. June 1st, June 01 expiry. So this is a weekly, not a weekly trade, but it expires on that Friday, right? Sell the 58 puts and buy the 57 puts. It's a credit spread, so we're going to say a 35-cent credit, plus or minus. And again, I got shitty quotes right now. About 3 cents. So I'd go up to 38 cents, and I'd go as low as 33 cents on this spread. And I don't have an accurate. Sam, I've answered this about 20 times, man. But don't you have a Jan 2020 trade on CSX? Yes, Sam, that's what I said, my brother. I said 50 times. I said we have a Jan 20 trade on, and I would be trading. You either sell upside calls or you trade the front months. I don't know what your confusion is. I'd potentially adjust this trade if it goes up in value to about 55 cents, and I'd maybe eject around 70. Why am I being exaggerated with talking like that? Because this is not hard and fast. If CSX starts pulling back, but it ain't really changing my commit criteria, I don't touch the damn trade. Let's say analyst says something and the gap's down a little bit, and I just think that's a short-term pullback. I am not getting out the trade at all. Does that make sense? Well, guys, it initially started right at the middle there, then CSX is going up. So it started to rally a little bit, didn't it? Literally, as we start talking about shit, look at this, man. So I started talking about this, and look at that. Right here. And the damn trade started rallying. Isn't that funny as shit? Well, maybe then you go down to 26 cents, guys. Rick, you'd be surprised, man. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of traders. I have showed you guys before. Where is it? We move the market in a couple trades that I've watched. I forgot to keep watching this shit. Where is it? FXI. Look at this. When we started this webinar, look at this. We put on our bullish puts here and sold puts here. Look at what happened. We moved. I keep the screenshot because we moved the market in FXI, and you can see it right here. When we started the live trade brief, let me show you something. I'm going to have these framed. We do move the market, guys. Where is it? Look at this. When we started the market, it was the 40s, right? Yeah, look at this. There was zero volume in these puts. When we finished our webinar, there was 1,200 of them in there. Isn't that awesome? Patrick, Wiz is a shaker and a mover. I appreciate that. So, 29%. Wow. Mercedes depreciates 29% at least in the first year. Yikes. So, I'm honored that we move the market, but sometimes it sucks because I've actually been suffering, guys. I get shittier fills because I got to go run over to Brand X to get filled, and it usually it's usually run away from me. So let's see, take what you can get, but not. I mean, this is a nice rally out of CSX since we started talking about it. And look, it's gapped even higher. This is, you know what? This is a no shitter, man. I should have looked at the damn volume before we. So I'm pretty sure. So look at this. I'm pretty sure we moved the market again in CSX. I mean, it's not a massively traded in the options, but it's. Wow. It is, Steve. I'm calling this the whiz gap. Look at this. In the past couple minutes, the thing gapped up even higher. Son of a bitch. Well, let me press send on the damn trade here. Anyway, congrats if you got into that. You guys, it's funny because some of you are going to outperform my performance because I can't get, well, whatever. It ain't necessarily about the money, obviously. Exactly, Tim. We definitely did it because it wasn't moving earlier. It was slow, wasn't it? So there you go. We moved the markets again. PLTB, new CSX bull put spread. So maybe with Raytheon, we all jump into Raytheon and maybe we move the market around. Because guys, I mean, if you're doing volume, if you did like 35 contracts like I did, that ain't insignificant. Look at this gap here, folks. I love this, man. Well done. We just made history again. This is us, guys. This ain't anybody but us. Stop with the damn. Let me. I'm grabbing a screenshot here. I'm gonna grab this. CSX. So well done, guys. CSX market move. That was us. We do this, by the way. Everyone lean to the left. It is the TGO effect. Look at that. And that is comical. When did we start talking about Raytheon, guys? Right about an hour ago, 1:30, I started ranting about Raytheon. Look at the Raytheon print. Thomas, I said that. I said, yes, I'd take 26 cents. Sam, man, you got to listen louder, Sam. I just said, why did CSX move so much just now? I just said we did it. This is TGO, folks. On my level, I'm seeing no other news on CSX. We started talking about CSX right around here. Look at this. And look at that gap to that high. That is freaking phenomenal. Grab a screenshot of that. That is awesome. That puts a huge smile on my face. I got to start looking at the. Volume before we play some trades. I need to start tracking this stuff, man. I've actually had investors come and ask about this. Exactly, Harry. Can we talk about JP Morgan and move up? You know what? We're going to have to table ExxonMobil. Let me look at the options flow here real quick, though. And then I got to deposit some money into this account. Look at these damn quotes. Open it. Yeah, look at the open interest. Look at that. That's awesome. Reg, LOL, yes. Open interest was 26 by 44, and the volume is 62 by 72. All right, I gotta pump some money into here so we get our quotes back. But look at that, man! What a great look at that print. So, all right, guys. I didn't press send on this. Sorry about that. Well, doesn't matter. The trade ran away from us, which is a good thing. Well, not if you didn't get filled. I get it. Hold on, please let me know when it's up so I can promote. Oh, let me all right, we got 2 minutes left. Check this out. So I got to put this on my social media. Where can I put this? Skype, maybe. Hold on 1 second, guys, and then I'll answer some straggler questions. I'll Skype it to Susie, and then I'll be able to see it. Whoever asked that, yeah. So Friday is actually Scammer's funeral, and actually it's a party. I mean, you should see the invitation. People are going to flip flops and flight jackets, and I mean, it's Scammer. Coleman, biggest problem is getting filled before the bumps. That's exactly right. That's why as soon as I start talking about something, guys, and again, so this was just in the Boca magazine today. Check this out. I got to promote this. It is a celebration of life's fish. He's a good dude. All right, let me answer some of these questions. Some other stuff. So the financials, guys. And it's funny you say that, Harry, because what's happening this week that might impact the financials? Or not might, will. What's happening that will? That's exactly right, Tamara. Life should be happening every day. Is the what? is the Fed meeting. You got it. So we're in a holding pattern, guys. These, just like before the election, before of Donald J. Trump, which we predicted, with Jeffrey Gunn, or Jeffrey did with us, since we were earlier, is what interest rates are going up this year, man. Right? We're going to be raising interest rates, and it's only bullish. There's only bullish things on the horizon for these. So again, uh, here's a front month spread opportunity, a bull put spread on JP Morgan. I don't think these things are going lower, guys. The only way these, well, let me red team what I just said. The only way these financials are going lower is what? The Fed comes out Wednesday and says, it's actually a little crappier than we thought out there, and we're not going to raise interest rates. Well, then we might see the financials head lower, because everybody and their mother is waiting for the Fed to raise interest rates so they can get on the financial train. Okay, so it'll be good talking about it tomorrow, because the Fed meeting's after that. We'll definitely cover and analyze your trade on Thursday, because we'll see how the market reacts tomorrow to the Fed meeting. Does that make sense? Sam, I answered that already about the CSX credit. Please watch the replay, okay? Because we are out of time. Guys, you got to do me a favor, man. It's sit in a quiet environment, or whatever, for the hour and a half we're in the primary live trade brief. I need you focused. I can't be wasting time answering the same question 90 times, man. It's frustrating to me personally, and for people who are attentive and pay attention. So please watch the replay if you missed anything about CSX. I covered the credit issue 50 times. All right, folks. Hell, $6,200 or $6,500 in gains in 2 volatility trades. I get Raytheon's kicking you in the gut. You shouldn't feel like you're getting kicked in the gut on Raytheon. You should be selling front month calls, or doing whatever your strategic mindset for the front month is with Raytheon. Get into it, sell some calls, do a bull put spread, shovel it into the dirt with a bear call spread. You got to cobble your front month, folks. With these Jan 20 trades, you make money a couple ways. You make money with the damn thing going up eventually. You can make money selling upside calls or spreads, man. There's 3 ways to make money in Jan 20s, folks. Just don't sit there and stare at your Jan 20 and hope, pray, and whatever method. Don't do that. Watch the Full Throttle free training exercise, folks. Okay, that's $495. I threw it to you guys for free, just so you can get up to speed before we do our Full Throttle and Options Weapon School training in a little bit. Okay, does that make sense? David, if VXX ran away from you, I'm screwed too, because I got to go execute over at Brand X. But if that's why I send these alerts out immediately, is because go on, take their money and run, right? So, Fish, that's in the replay, my friend, which I really have to say to you. Susie's meeting with, what's her name, on Thursday. We'll have more info about the event. That was a quick one. I could answer that one. All right, guys, I got to run. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to say hi to my beautiful daughter. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll see many of you tomorrow for Accelerated Retirement. If you're not in it, give Susie a call and get in it. Hi. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.